Do you get support from your government? Can you go to them? Can they catch these people? Do you know their names? Do you know who they are, or not?
Well, let me just first tell about my journalism and Finnish journalism ethics, because according to the Finnish journalistic ethics, journalists are only responsible for the big audience. We are not responsible for government. We are not responsible for any interest groups. We are not responsible for the targets of our stories. So I'm most interested in that my stories were really well read. The big audience took them really well, and also that I get support from them, because they are the ones who I do the journalism for.
My question was,
and the government helps me in such a way that there is massive police investigations, and that's also what every government should be doing if such thing happens, because that's their duty, and if there is illegal activities, obviously they have to investigate.
Do you like really seriously worry about your safety? Do you walk in the street and look behind you constantly? Do you sleep well at night? What kind of a life are you leading?
Really normal life, yeah. But of course, when I noticed what's happening, I started to take much more better care of my privacy and of my personal security, and also my family's security. Yeah, it's just obvious.
Okay, very interesting. Okay, we're going to play ball again. And I want to invite Jamila to come also help with the question and answer. And again, I'm going to ask you to be brief. And the problem with this ball is I cannot reach very far. So I'm going to have a very difficult time doing this. So may I perhaps ask somebody to... Can you? Okay. Maybe you're better than me, but try not to kill somebody in the meantime.
Anybody would.
Yeah, just far. I wanted to go far. Oops! Ooh! Well done. Well done. Well done. Okay. Some questions, some comments, some anything? Can I ask you to say who you are and to be as brief as possible?
Yes, my name is Jenny Rengren. I work for a feminist news online paper in Sweden. And I was thinking when you were telling your stories that your work is very, lonely. And journalists are often very, as you say, stubborn to be their own boss. So in these circumstances, have you been doing any networking? Have you had the protection from also your colleagues?
Yeah, for example, in my case, after the disgusting drug articles went out on the What the Fuck paper, which is the name of the racist incitement propaganda spreading site, the Finnish chief editors made a really lovely action. They made a joint statement. There were 22 different chief editors of the main Finnish media, and they stated that they are protecting all their journalists for such disgusting attacks, and that they also denounce fake media.
I think the rewards would be many, many things, like the story of a man who lost 22 members of his family during Typhoon Haiyan, who dug through weeks after weeks looking for, and he buried them one by one, and I'm able to tell his story and share his grief to the world. That's important. A refugee who was desperately trying to sell to me his last pair of slippers just so he can feed his family. Painful, but also rewarding, because I feel that I'm giving them a chance, a voice. So there are difficulties, but I think the stories of these people to me is enough therapy. And that to me is enough reward. When I see that people react and governments hopefully react, then I think that is already a reward and therapy in itself.
Thank you. I'm going to take one more very brief question because I'm promising you a coffee break after this. So that's good news. Anybody else would like to have, just behind. Oh, wow. I think you're enjoying this game, aren't you?
I enjoy it. Hi, I'm Cecilia from Swedish Radio. I was wondering if you have a solution, because I'm interested in when you said that you yourself wrote about this hate campaign. the challenge is for us journalists to not like use our position to take the benefits for ourselves. How do you think about that, and what's the challenge with that?
No, I'm going to answer you, and then I'll let my two colleagues answer. I think in this circumstance, it's essential that you should write about it, because this is not promoting you as much as defaming the others who are doing this to you. It's very important at times. Sorry?
I think you could be accused. I mean, the hate could be even worse.
Well, you know what, you have to decide for yourself whether you're going to be silent and a silent victim, or you're going to speak and speak for everybody else as well. In this circumstance, if I were you, I would speak very loud and very clear. I don't know what you think.
Yeah, exactly. I don't even understand the question, really.
Mm-hmm.
No, I thought if you should need, I think you could need some support, like from your employers, or maybe sometimes it could be better if someone of your colleagues wrote about your case, so that you don't have to take all the responsibility yourself.
Yeah, my employer has supported me 100% since second one. And also my colleagues have been writing about me, you know, everything is done.
I was just wondering that,
Yeah.
if they were doing this.
No,
Yeah.
Great. Would
Yeah,
you
they
like
have
say
to do,
anything,
you
Jamila?
know, when someone is attacking a journalist, they are actually attacking the employer. And they are trying to stop and silence this media house from working. So it is really media house's problem. And they need to make sure that their work continues. And for that they need, and it's wise for them, to protect the journalists with every possible means.
Would you like quickly, please?
What she said, it is annoying more than anything, those threats, those trolling online. And I realized to allow myself to get distracted means they've actually won, because what they want is to derail us from digging the truth. So what I do is I make sure I'm not going to be distracted by all these trolling and annoying state-funded apparatus of harassing journalists. I go right where it will hurt them, which is to dig through and make sure I'm focused with every single part of my stories. And my credibility as a journalist is my best defense, and they can never, ever, in many ways, break that. So that is what I have done. Of course, the support of companies, that's already automatic. But on my own, I don't like getting distracted, especially at this day and age where threats are in fact rising. We just have to fight back with our stories.
Thank you very much. Just one more thing. Never, ever question your self-confidence. The minute women lose their self-confidence, or for that matter, men as well, then you lose everything. So go for it if I were you. Thank you very much, everybody.